Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Welcome to an episode of Make It Work by MWC. My name is Annie and I am so privileged that today we have our guest with us from faraway land, faraway state, Maklum Rosnah from Kuantan, Malaysia. So today we're going to be talking about connecting children to nature. Why is this important? So we're going to ask for Maklum to introduce herself just a bit. Maklum, welcome.
Thank you very much for having me. Yeah.
So hopefully this recording, the intention is to create awareness, not just for us here in Malaysia, but also globally, so that the Ummah can benefit from these few thought processes that we have nurtured and we have witnessed in our life to benefit the Ummah, inshallah. So connecting children with nature. Who are you and why are we talking about this, Maklum?
Right, who am I? Assalamualaikum. How's everyone? I'm Maklum. My name is Rosnah Ahmad, but I'm not called mostly. I like to be called Maklum. It's a brand name actually because I'm in early childhood education. And I mainly teach caregivers in the early child care center, mostly the 4 and below, the first so-called school, and then they go to the 4, 5, 6, but I'm the 4 and below. And one of my passions, besides that, I do a lot of advocating on connecting children to nature. Okay, for the past 20 years. Okay. But only after COVID, I'm more seriously into it because seeing there's a lot of indoor activities and children at home are mostly indoors. Even at centers, they are indoors. Not so much outdoors activities and not so much connecting nature in the centers and at home. So I'm more concerned about, the triangle, like human. As human, we have to have God, nature, and community around us to become whole. And so from that awareness, I would like more people to be aware of this, especially the parents and the caregivers, the teachers, so that children are more connected to nature, plus having community. Even nature brings community together. So I would start at home. I would say it should be very good to be having a home with more green. Wherever you are, you can do green everywhere, even if you don't have much space for it. There's a way to do it, and at centers and schools. So that's about it. It's a lot to do with that.
Okay, all right. So what is the benefit of having children connecting to nature more than they are doing right now?
Well, nature has its own, because it's fitrah. So when we have nature, we nurture children around nature, it will give more calmness, it will give it's more fitrah. Like when we were young, remember, we just play in the nature. So another thing is the free play in nature. Now we see that a lot of centers, even parents, are more like saying, what are the activities we should do for our children? But actually children has their own innate ability to free play, and it's the best among, because there's two type of plays. One is structured, one is non-structured, unstructured. So I feel that unstructured is underrated. Okay. Yeah, at the formative years, like below 8 or even 12, even the young ones from baby, they are more free play. So they learn a lot of concepts through play, especially play in nature.
Right. So when you say free play, it is like, so here's the garden, or here's the water, so here's the waterfall. Go do whatever. Go play with your friends. There's no agenda behind it.
No, it's like they know how to. They would go in, and if you watch children, if you see, let's say they see water for that matter, then they go and you'll see they just play, right? But somehow, if you look at them now, when they see nature, say about like a 2-year-old, they will look at the adults around them, like asking
Seeking permission.
right, because initially children are very much, the nature is just to go and play. But if there's so much restrictions or no's, or you cannot do this, and the autonomy become less, and later the initiative is at stake. So for us to empower children from young is to get them into free play more, and plus nature. There's a lot also free play now, but not nature. It's all consumerism thing, you have to buy stuff. So I want them to get away from the thinking of you need a lot of money to have children. You need to buy stuff. It's all around you. Nature is a lot around you. It's the air is also nature, right? Sand, water, trees, plants. You've got plants here. Plants, because you're in the heart of city, and you need a bit of green, and it brings a lot of your wholeness. Is that right? Yeah.
Right. So connecting children to nature allows them to free play. Allows them to discover.
Right.
And also learn social skills when they work with other people, other children. Right.
Naturally.
What's not happening right now is the restriction that is maybe imposed on them, this young mind, by us adults. So what is the fear? What's the fear? Why are we not doing enough of it?
Fear of the fear.
So what's the real fear?
Oh, they say that, you cannot, first it was the COVID, but even before COVID, it's not safe, We have to have, years ago we have free-range children, right?
Free-range children.
Maybe we cannot get to that extent. I'm being realistic here, but there are some ways that we can bring back nature, connecting them, even in the home. Even now, I'm here for a week in Kuala Lumpur. I see Molok. It's more greener. It's greener now, which is good. Even people realize they need to have plants like you have now. So the awareness, you start with the awareness at home and at centers, childcare centers, and the word is fear, because parents and teachers, it started with parents. They don't want to get dirty. They say it's hot, the heat, and then they might get into whatever trouble. Then this orang colik, what's that? Kidnapping, and then all this fear, which sometimes is quite unrealistic. And like within your compound, like years ago, children just roaming around. That's the best if you could get to that level again. But I'm being realistic here. It still can be done. And the thing is, it's not like we are going back to nature, rather than going away from the nature. It starts at home.
Right.
And a free and also a smart partnership with centers. Because there's a theory saying that the prompt brain theory, like if there's the parents in the center, they have close, they have good communication. It will sort of bring up the level of achievement of the children in terms of their growth and development.
So when you say center, it's the child center where parents send their children to
for the young ones, and also school for middle child.
Right. Okay. And this is important relationship to build, because their children spend a lot of time there. Now, how do we enliven this thing that you're promoting, this connecting with nature? How do we make it possible for parents who are working and therefore sending their children to the center? Most days of the week is done. They live in apartment buildings. They may be growing small plants like this right now, but that's about it. Now, how can they enliven this a lot more in their lives for the sake of the children?
Thanks. That's a very good question. I feel that the centers has to play more roles in terms of this. What I'm doing now, one project in Kuantan, for instance, I'm collaborating with the center because one center have say 30 children, so at least they have 60 parents. And through projects that maybe now I'm just developing a green corner, so involving children, teachers, children and parents, then the awareness is created. And from there, parents could see what the benefit of children. It's not easy, Annie, because there's a lot of fear. So when they say, oh, parents would not like that, because it's going to be...
What exactly won't they like? I'm sorry.
Because it's going to be outside more.
Within the center?
Oh yeah, but still, because I want to create an environment where children are outside more than inside. Because when you have trees, for example, it's not that hot, right? And
right.
Within 8 to 10 in the morning, it's quite safe, right? And then
in our context,
if you have shade, if you have shade, so you will have awnings and but it's the fear that we have to give. I mean, the fear is they fear because they're not aware of certain things. So we need to we have to advocate and create more awareness, and we should show results. So I'm going to use that as my first project. I've done a lot of talk and awareness on the social medias, but I haven't actually really going to this. Going to have a sample, but I think this is the way to do it in the community, because I'm from Kuantan, so it will spread in the community first. Because we are not into community thing yet, So if you have the nature, community, and family, it would be good for all. And if you change the family, the community, it will change the world, inshallah.
Inshallah. So, alhamdulillah, the suggestion is that you will work with centers, creating a patch maybe where children can actually go out and begin to plant their own chili trees, maybe get their hands dirty. Beginning to love nature, appreciating trees and
making compost for that matter, and then having plants that can easily. I would start with 1 pot each, maybe, so that they can water their own.
And they see for themselves.
And then I want to get to the center and to really have a recycling, composting, because I want to get bins for recycling and composting. Like after children eat, right? Like 3-4 times in a day, they just threw whatever the leftovers. So we want to have children at that age to be it's the best time to educate them, right? If they can compost whatever they eat, and then they know what the compost is supposed to go back into ground and then back into nurturing the plants, all the cycle of life. So we are actually saving the earth.
So this is a multifaceted benefit.
But it's easy to do it. I've done it for that matter. I've done it at my home with my community, because with Laman Maklong, it's a small place. It's quite small, but I managed to have my vertical garden. I'm proud about it, right? I've got everywhere, and then I do my own composting. I have my veggie gardens, herb gardens, all these flowers and whatnot. And then I think I've done that. It's all overgrown. I need to bring all the plants somewhere. And I think I have enough. I think it was like 3 years, like from COVID, that I've developed it in my community. So I managed to get my neighbors into it also. And I can see it's quite easy actually to do it, but the most difficult thing is I have to be more receptive, is that the way? Like I have to go empowering them rather than expecting them to come to me. I have to go to the grassroots. Create the awareness, be a leader, rather than expecting people to just come to me. And it's a lot of da'wah there, right?
Mashallah.
But I'm happy doing it, alhamdulillah. I'm looking forward for the next, generation to have more. It's good for the generation because we empower them from young. It's to be, like we are in the consumerism. You use a lot, you throw a lot. You're not saving the earth. It's not the Khalifa thing. As a Khalifa, you should be more mindful of what you use in terms of and how our connection with nature.
MashaAllah. So, we begin by talking about how it is important for children to be connected to nature. And from what I'm hearing right now, it is not just about the parents supporting the children and making exposure. We among adults also need this education. That we also need to understand that there is something at stake here, and what is at stake is our planet. Right? So, given the children, the adults, and the taking care of the nature, recycling, upcycling, where is your focus, Malum?
I'm focusing more on the center itself, the children, because there are children there.
Okay, so you work with the children.
The center and the children.
The center
but
and
involving
children.
families, parents and families, and community.
Right. So that's your focus for Kuantan.
Yeah.
How can we spread this idea that getting children into nature is important? Because Matlong cannot go everywhere.
Yeah, I
right?
cannot. Yeah.
So how can we begin educating this to the Ummah?
I've been writing actually a lot about this. Not a lot, but I've been writing this for a while. I also do my TikTok and I have Facebook. But I think, like you're saying, it can be become bigger. But I would document what the process, inshallah, and spread it through the media, social media. But I don't know, you might have some more suggestions that I can, like the word could spread around.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, we can do interviews like this and then post it, and then who knows, it gets to what's level, right?
Give it to Allah.
But if there is anyone out there, inshallah, there will be people who wants to know how can we create this bond between children and nature. How can we grow this? So they want to talk about it. And they want to reach out to you. How can they find you?
Oh, I'm everywhere in the social media.
Yeah, everywhere. Under Matlong, under Rosnah.
Under Matlong, Rosnah Ahmad /Matlong. I have my own blog, rentis.blogspot.com, rentis.
Okay.
I've got my Facebook as Rosnah Ahmad, and I've got my TikTok under Matlong Nah. Yeah.
Okay. So where do you want them to go? One place.
I think
and
TikTok now.
TikTok
now,
so
because it's an in thing now.
It's an in thing now.
When
Okay.
you're connected to my, it's also going to go to my rentis if it goes.
Very good. So we'll just channel everyone to go to Matlong's TikTok.
Matlong Nah. Yeah.
Matlong Nah TikTok.
Yeah.
To hear her talk about how parents can play their role in getting their children to connect with nature a lot more than it is right now. And we know the importance. The importance is that we need to protect our planet.
Yep.
And also we know that our children is the future leaders. We want to change the narratives about how we can function more meaningfully in this world. So that's our small contribution, right? As parents.
Can I add on that? Because nature now, you see a lot of, because children on gadget inside, and a lot of they don't get to move a lot, all the motor skills, and there's a lot of symptoms that showing they have difficulty in learning, even early signs of autism. It's not that, actually, it's more than that. If children are deprived from their nature, like nature, the greens, the plants, the sand, the soil, the sun, the light is part of their nature. If they are deprived or lack of, it would create imbalance in terms of their development and growth. Yeah, so parents, and teachers, get them out. Like in America, they once used to have a Leave No Child Inside campaign. Because they found out, if you read up about this, I love that. There's another thing about parents always thought they have to teach their children from young, but a lot of concept is gained through play, free play. If you see a child, for instance, they get something, they keep throwing, for example, right? You keep throwing for a while until they stop, because they want to get the concept. Like F is equal to MA, force is equal to mass by acceleration. So they might get a stone and keep throwing until they get the concept right. So this concept is built in through play later in life, when they're primary, secondary school, they're gonna use this concept. So yeah, so you have to keep take them out.
Yeah, that's the idea.
Yeah, take them
So
out.
take the children out. Allow the empowerment to happen.
Yes. Yeah.
Of course, we as parents, we need to be around them to just watch over, but allow the freedom to play happen outside. So thank you so much, Matlong, for this sharing. This is an ad hoc thing. We didn't plan for this. So I just had the honor of Matlong's visit to my office. And, this is a great conversation. Thank you so much.
Welcome again.
Inshallah. One day we'll meet again. Thank you,
Inshallah.
Assalamualaikum.
Assalamualaikum.
Thank you, everybody. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Bye, everyone.